2 Corinthians 4, 8 through 12. We are afflicted in every way, but not crushed, perplexed, but not driven to despair, persecuted, but not forsaken, struck down, but not destroyed, always carrying around in the body the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be made visible in our bodies. For we who are living are always being handed over to death for Jesus' sake, so that the life of Jesus may also be made visible in our mortal flesh. So death is at work in us, but life in you. This week we're talking about Howard Thurman, a modern-day saint and theologian who helped give shape to the civil rights movement, and a young theologian who visited India to learn about nonviolent resistance that was happening there. Howard Thurman was an incredible preacher, an incredible scholar, and a person who, having been in a black body at the time before the civil rights movement or any sort of progress was made, knew what it was like to be crushed and perplexed, to be defeated, and to be treated like garbage. Howard Thurman grew up in Daytona Beach, which is very close to where we are, and recounts a story of his grandmother loving to hear scripture read, but having a particular distaste for a lot of Paul's letters because those letters had been used to harm her when she was an enslaved person. Howard Thurman's life was characterized by first beginning to have to go to boarding school in Jacksonville because there was no high school for black students in Daytona Beach. And so his life was characterized throughout all of its time as a person who might know well the feelings of Paul in this text. He was surrounded by hatred, death on every side, mistreatment, all the things that can happen in a time of injustice and oppression. Howard Thurman is a noted scholar and theologian who helped give shape to the civil rights movement. Nope, sorry, I got to start over. Bug again. Howard Thurman, a scholar and a theologian who helped give shape to the civil rights movement, wrote a really incredible book called Jesus and the Disinherited. In the text, he talks about what it means to be a person who is disinherited, who has unequal rights, who find themselves with their, quote, backs against the wall. And he talks about how compelling Jesus' story is for all of us, but especially for folks who are in a place of suffering. He identifies that Jesus was a person of Jewish descent in a time of Roman occupation, and that if Jesus was shoved into a ditch, he would be just another Jewish person shoved into a ditch. He was a person who would not have had lots of rights and lots of access, and yet he found a way to live out a love ethic. Howard Thurman's work and his life demonstrate the power of what it means when the gospel is lived out. The story that Paul tells in 2 Corinthians, that because he cares so much about the gospel, because he cares so much about wholeness and life, because he cares so much about the world and people's hearts and lives being transformed, Paul is willing to overcome all of the barriers that he finds himself encountering. That Paul is willing to acknowledge he's being crushed on every side. He's being pressed down but not destroyed. Because Paul and Howard Thurman and Jesus demonstrate for us that there is some kind of power in love overcoming hate, in life overcoming death, and in peace overcoming violence. Our modern-day saint, Howard Thurman, lives out a life that shows us how compelling the gospel can be. And so my hope is that even if this is not our social location or experience, maybe we can't fully understand what it's like to live in Howard Thurman's time and place and his experience, or Paul's, or Jesus's. My hope is that we can learn that there is a depth and power to the gospel that can transform our actual, real lives. That there may be a time when God calls you to something which is costly, which is extraordinarily challenging, and which is a way of communicating the gospel with your life and with your story. May we have the courage, like Howard Thurman and Paul and Jesus, to live out the gospel's power.
water's edge, there in the silence, you were there. My faith was torn to shreds, my heart in the balance.